Hello and welcome back to our plant-based podcast. What's up, Sarah?
Hello.
I said, what's up, Sarah?
Oh, nothing.
What have you been eating?
You know what? I'm gonna throw a little shade.
Surprise.
I'm a little fucking mad.
Yeah, you had a fucked up dinner tonight.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you've been listening, you know that I'm on sort of a minimalism kick, and I'm wanting to get rid of all my shit.
Right.
I've been looking at my bookshelf pretty much the whole time I've been on this kick, knowing that until my thesis was defended and I was done using my books, I was gonna have to keep them. And last week I defended my thesis, so I wanted to get rid of the books. The book depository was in a parking lot kind of far away from us, and we got there and there's a Freshie there, and we were like, we could drop these books off and try Freshie. I hear they have vegan friendly options.
Yeah, and they did.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
We missed the customization
Yeah.
little paper on the way in, which we...
And even though we told the motherfucker that it was our first time there,
He
failed to mention the customize your thing.
Well,
so.
he was clearly a teenager. He was young. I think he was Carolwood. He was just there for the spending money.
Yeah.
So he was just he didn't give a shit. But we missed the little customization thing, which I'm sad about, because if we had known about it, I think that we would have had a better time.
Oh, yeah, we would have had a much better time. But tell us what you ate for dinner.
I ordered the superfood soup.
Yes.
And let me tell you how I think they made the soup. I think they poured tap water out of the sink, lukewarm, didn't even let the sink pipes heat up fully, put uncooked tofu, uncooked broccoli, uncooked onions, uncooked celery, uncooked kale, uncooked cabbage, and uncooked carrots, and just a smattering of quinoa, which I think may be cooked just because it was sitting in the lukewarm water. I don't know.
Right.
Or they had it laying around. Dude chopped up some vegetables and chopped up some tofu and put it in water.
That is exactly what it tasted like to me as well.
There was no fucking way.
Yeah.
It maybe was no sodium vegetable broth.
Yeah, it really did taste like warm water.
It was
there was no seasoning
warm,
for sure.
too. I was like, fuck, it's a little bit hot outside. Maybe I'm regretting getting a soup, because I really panic ordered the soup.
Yeah.
Because he handed us a little paper of all their stuff with all the allergens, and there's a little vegan column, and he's like, if there's a V in that column, that means it's vegan outright.
Right.
So what the fuck did you get? Tell us what you got, because mine
Oh,
was
okay.
some raw veggies and tofu and water.
Yeah, mine was better than yours. Mine was the Baja burrito, with raw tofu and lemon juice and some tomatoes and lettuce and quinoa. It was a weird burrito because it was sweet. I have never had a sweet burrito before.
And I have to tell you, the tofu that I ate, the raw fucking tofu that I ate, was really sweet. So I think what made it sweet was the combination of the lemon juice and the tofu.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was raw tofu on a whole wheat wrap with some veggies, and it tasted like shit. So, no desire to go back.
If we end up back in the area.
Yeah, they do have the customized option.
Right. So. And they had all sorts of stuff you could put on a salad, and it looked like pretty much unlimited options. Yeah. And they had falafel as a protein. So, let me put tofu and falafel on a salad with fucking strawberries and avocado and, a good dressing and good veggies. That sounds good.
It just sucks when
or
they're,
cold wrap with that.
It just sucks when they're, pre-made, or, the menu items that are already vegan, are that bad.
It was not good.
That's really a shame.
When we were sitting there waiting for the food, I was like, we had just discovered the customized paper, so we were like, fuck, okay, well, unless the food's awful, we know what we can do when we come back. And the food was awful. I really wasn't expecting it to be awful. Because, the description of the soup was, whatever, tofu, onions, celery. I saw onions and celery, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's used in every soup base known to man.
Right.
So, duh. I don't like onions or celery, but I know that it's in every soup base, and carrots, too. And so it's probably a sort of creamy, brothy soup with some tofu and quinoa and some, really like massaged fucking kale, cooked really nicely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking when I'm thinking about a soup. Like, not
No.
literally a bunch of fucking raw vegetables and water. Maybe it was a raw vegan soup.
No, neither of us would have expected that to be what they served you.
That was so weird. Because your burrito was like weird, but it kind of made sense. The thing they really fucked up on is they didn't cook the tofu.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Like, had they cooked the tofu, even without spices, your burrito still made sense. Because you
Yeah.
had, like, the avocado and stuff like that on it. Like,
Right.
all of that together makes a burrito. Quinoa's not my favorite base,
No, I wouldn't have picked it.
but, like, it's fine.
Anyway, we don't have too many shitty eating out stories.
No,
This was
most
the
of the time,
first one in quite a while. So,
Most of the time we eat out, even when you try new places, we're usually reasonably satisfied. Like,
yeah.
Pei Wei. We had Pei Wei, and it's in the same little shopping center, and we
Right.
almost went there, and I was like, let's maybe try the new thing. Because we tried Pei Wei, and it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad either.
Right.
And, like, because we went once, we kind of know what to get next time, and we should have fucking really gone to Pei Wei.
Yeah, we would have had a much better experience, that's
They-
for sure. I'm just bumping into shit. Sorry.
They definitely cook the tofu at Pei Wei, and they definitely cook it in spices and seasoning and sauce. Like,
Right.
that was what really threw me. Because if the soup's not warm, that's okay. If, like, the vegetables... You in that chair, dude.
I'm not comfortable
Get comfortable.
working on it.
Get comfortable.
I'm going to try this out, see how this fits.
Okay. But, like, if, like, the veggie's not being totally cooked, fine. Raw tofu in a soup, we've been there. We've seen that. That's fucking miso. But, like, absolutely no spices or seasoning. Literally filled up a bowl with sink water
Yeah.
and threw some raw veggies and tofu in there. Fucking wild. I don't understand.
Anyway, today's episode is not about that.
It's more fun than that.
This is more fun. We're going to Google, we're doing that thing that you've seen this before. We're Googling, like, what do vegans, can vegans,
We're just Googling
why
all
are
about
vegans.
vegans.
We're gonna do our own Q&A here with Google.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what everybody seems to want to know about vegans.
Yeah. So
And
I'll start this
veganism.
off
Okay.
with, do vegans eat eggs? No. Do vegans eat fish? No. Do vegans eat honey? No.
This song begets a definition of veganism, and it's like literally like as much as you possibly can without fucking breaking your back, not consuming any animal products.
Yeah, and bees are animals.
And bees are animals, and they make honey, and there are arguments for eating honey. Like, there's pretty much no argument for eating milk or meat that I can be, like, listening to.
Yeah, not gonna get behind that.
But, like, because everybody's eating fucking honey,
Honey is so trendy.
there's too much. Honey
Yeah.
is trendy because people think it's extra healthy.
Oh yeah, they want that raw, locally sourced,
And maybe
just-
that's the fucking way to get it. If I were to eat
Yeah.
honey, that'd be probably how I did it.
I guess, but I don't see the allure of it. I think you're weird.
Well, I think it's inherently cruel.
Yeah.
Also, to mass produce honey because they have to, like, they basically have to gas the queen.
Yeah, they got a gas. They're in there shooting gas in all the bees. Like,
And then they, like, steal the honey, and then the bees are like, oh fuck, and they have to, like, make more honey.
yeah, because they think that they're like making reserves for themselves, right? Like, it's like, I don't know what honey is. Don't they feed the, like, isn't it like baby food?
Honey has everything to bees.
Yeah,
It's like,
I've seen a bee movie. I know. Anyway, we don't eat honey.
no.
And cheese, no. This is like the stupid one. This line of questions is like not as cool
Do
as
we
some
eat
of the others.
cheese? No, yeah.
And do vegans live longer? Yes, of course we do. I don't
Yeah.
know. How would we know that? Why is that a Google thing?
Okay, so there's like one little tiny bit of evidence that some vegans might live longer.
Okay.
I think in the Western world, generally no.
Yeah.
There's like a little island off of Japan
Oh,
where pretty much
yeah.
everybody eats exclusively vegan and occasionally fish, and they live ridiculously long. And a lot of vegans use that as like, look, if you eat a plant-based diet, you'll live longer than everybody else. That's like a weird sample. I think that
Interesting.
island maybe
Okay.
doesn't have the amount of problems that all of the rest of us have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. But I like
But
this
no real
question.
evidence.
I like this one a lot though. Why are vegans so skinny?
Who?
Who? Who is skinny? I don't know any skinny vegans.
I think I might classify as skinny.
You're like average skinny. I
Skinnier
guess.
than some people.
Yeah.
But
I'm
like,
fucking fat.
there's a lot of
And there's
fat
a lot of
vegans.
fat vegans.
There's like a YouTube channel called like, maybe she doesn't call herself that anymore, but she like titles her videos like what a fat vegan eats and like stuff like that. Cause she's like
Right.
doing like the body positivity and veganism thing at the same time.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
trendy. It's cool.
there's some skinny vegans, and part of the reason that some vegans might like be skinny or people have like lost weight upon going vegan is just because plant foods are less calorically dense than animal foods.
Yeah, they're just like not
On
eating
average.
as many calories.
So you're just not eating as
Yeah.
many calories, you're eating more fiber, you're maybe eating more vegetables. Maybe when you went vegan, you undertook an entire lifestyle change. So you went from eating, you know, like a standard Western diet, and now you're eating like a
Super
more
healthy.
whole foods vegan diet.
Right.
And that's like a little healthier. So like maybe you lost a lot of weight, maybe you're skinny now.
But I like I feel like this question appearing on Google suggests that
A lot of people think that
a lot of
vegans
people
are
who
skinny,
aren't vegans think that vegans are just skinny.
which is interesting.
And I think the problem with that, and we'll get to the question about why are vegans so preachy
Yeah.
or whatever, but like I think the problem is they don't know any real vegans. Like, are they?
Mm-hmm.
They only know what they see on like
The
I
internet.
don't know. Yeah. Like, because the bottom line is vegans aren't really out there like talking about how vegan they are in public.
Generally not.
Generally not, and
we
we'll
just-
talk about that
We
later.
just eat our
but-
fucking tofu in peace.
Yeah, but all these people, these like meat eaters, think they know vegans so well because of like some meme.
Yeah.
So fuck y'all.
Well,
all y'all.
also I think like diet culture plays a pretty big role in that because people are really, really, really bad at adhering to named diets.
Yeah.
But they really like named diets.
Oh yeah,
Keto's the thing right now. Vegan has been the thing in the past. I will probably come back around as a thing again, as like just a trendy thing.
Yeah.
But people, especially around this time of year, are still really interested in losing a bunch of weight and dieting in some way. And veganism is one of those. It's a named diet, and they want to like, oh, why are vegans skinny? Can I
Yeah.
do that without going vegan?
right.
Which, like, sure, you can get skinny however you want.
This next one I like because I know you have some opinions on it.
Hmm.
Is why are vegans against eggs? Because I guess and I think why are vegans against milk is in here, and there's like things like that. It's kind of like the indirect shit that
Yeah.
non-vegans might have a problem wrapping their head around.
Right. Because like obviously pretty much everybody can see why people are opposed to slaughtering an animal that
Yeah.
didn't want to die and then cooking it and eating it.
No, meat
Right.
eaters aren't confused with why we don't eat meat. I don't think.
But let's talk about eggs.
Yeah.
Eggs themselves are fine. If you have a chicken living in your house, which I hope you don't, and it just leaves an egg, and you go to pick that egg up, and it doesn't look twice, it's just like, yeah, fuck you, take the egg, who cares? That egg is fine. Who gives a shit? But the problem is the way that we mass produce eggs.
Yeah.
And we do it in such a way that, like, we're like mass producing chickens almost. And in
Yeah.
doing that, we'll mass produce all sorts of baby chickens. We won't be able to figure out if before the eggs hatch if they're male chickens or female chickens. And when the male chickens are born, we're like, oh shit, we don't need those.
Right.
Because you can artificially inseminate a chicken,
Yeah.
make eggs that way. So they take the little baby male chicks and grind them up.
Yeah.
Feathers, feet, and all. And like it's sometimes they don't get completely ground up, they're only a little bit ground up. And so there's just like a fucking half ground up little chick riding along a conveyor belt of a bunch of ground up chicks. And then the little girl chickens, the little female chicks, are raised as hens, artificially inseminated, and their eggs are taken from them as often as possible. And it's like a really, 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 really brutal process on the chickens' bodies, like as a whole. So like, I don't really want to pay for that.
Yeah. And that's, neglecting the thought that factory farming as a whole is still a big problem for the environment, for the animals, for everyone.
Yeah.
So, like, these chickens who are laying eggs are not, like, loving life.
Right. No.
They're not in a little hen house.
Right. The hens that they're taking the eggs from for us to eat, or the hens that they're taking the eggs from to make more hens, to make more eggs, those hens are, as often as possible, artificially inseminated. And as often as they lay eggs, the eggs are being taken from them. And, like, a lot of people don't realize this, but if you, like, go to take eggs from a chicken, just like in the world,
Yeah.
Say your backyard, you've got backyard chickens.
Lucky you, but go on.
Lucky you've got backyard chickens. Usually when you try to go take eggs out from underneath a chicken, you're gonna get fucking pecked.
Yeah.
They don't want you to
No.
take their eggs. A lot of times they'll eat the eggs.
Yeah.
Like, unless they're gonna be, like, if they're unfertilized,
Yeah.
which, like, if they're unfertilized or not. But if they're unfertilized eggs, they usually eat those eggs.
Yeah, those are their eggs.
And they're like, get the fuck away from my eggs. They don't want you
take
reaching under them, taking their eggs. Like I said, if you have a chicken, it fucking lays an egg, walks away from the egg. It's like,
It is like, fuck it.
take that egg. If that egg's gonna
Yeah.
be rotting, sure, eat your egg. That's like probably an egg a month.
Yeah, you're not going to get many. But
Yeah.
enjoy them. So that, yeah. And then why are vegans against honey? We already talked about that. Just like the gassing of the bees and kind of like,
Yeah.
it's just another thing about animal cruelty. It's not just eating an animal that was slaughtered, but it's also like keeping animals in conditions that
It's
are
like,
not.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
how did that honey come to be?
Yeah.
It's not like a bee came by your house, fucking just spat out a bunch of honey at you, and it's like, here you go. Like, that's not what happens.
No. Could you talk about milk a little? And that one seems so obvious, but like it's in here. Why are vegans against milk? And
Yeah.
like,
First of all, milk is gross. And somebody said recently in my presence, like, that they grew up drinking milk with every meal. And like
yeah,
I could drink like a gallon of milk a day. I love milk. And that fucking grosses me out. Milk is nasty. I've never known anybody to drink milk just straight like that on purpose. Like cow's milk.
yeah.
I think we know it's gross.
especially as an adult.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I even think it's maybe worse for kids because if you're an adult, you're fucking wrecking your own body. That's you. But
Oh, I had to drink a glass of milk with dinner.
no, I knew a girl whose mom
Fucking
did that
disgusting.
to her into high school.
Yeah.
And we sat down to eat a Mexican dish at dinner, and she gave
Oh,
us
yeah.
all milk.
No, I'd have
And I was
spaghetti.
like, ew,
Spaghetti and milk.
no.
No, it's fucking gross, and there's like no. Anyway.
So first
old
and
people
foremost,
are
milk
weird.
is fucking gross.
Yeah.
Which we know why the milk industry is such a thing, right? Because during, I think it was World War II, but it may have even been World War One. I think it was two. Canned milk was like an easy thing for us to mass produce in the States and send to US soldiers abroad.
yeah.
And like, because milk has a ton of calories, ton of fat, ton of protein, you could just drink fucking milk
Yeah.
and get a lot of like your calories that you need for the
Right.
day.
Keep you alive.
Yeah. And if you're a soldier at war, in one
That's
of the,
important.
the biggest wars we've ever had as a globe, it's important that you fucking drink something to keep you sustained. The war ended, and we had a fuckload of milk still left over, so the government created like a whole system with the milk industry so that we could start advertising like, hey, milk is so good for your strong bones and teeth.
Right.
Like, and fucking everybody feed your kids milk, you drink milk, everybody drink milk. I don't think milk was like a cultural thing in the United States like that before then, unless you lived on a farm.
Right.
That milk industry continues today, and we see that, like, we're seeing ads for like milk. Just milk.
Yeah,
Like-
just an ad for milk.
Just an ad for milk, which I think is super wild. But like
And sometimes they'll even do ads that like shit on nut
almond
juices.
milk, yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No, it's very interesting.
it's a wild ride.
Because they don't need to bother with soy. Because soy already has a bad name. Even though
Yeah,
it
now you'll
shouldn't.
get tits.
But almond milk is bad for the environment, and it doesn't have protein, it's blah, blah, blah. It has so many problems. But so we see the government continuing to work in conjunction with milk. So first of all, know that milk was born out of U.S., like, going to war.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But the problem, and something that I think people don't really understand, is that milk only comes from a cow that has had a baby.
Yeah.
Just like humans, cows only lactate when they've just given birth. And like I think like humans maybe a little bit before they give birth, but that's not really
That's not here.
that's not really milk, that's colostrum. So in order to get milk, you have to have a pregnant cow. In order to have a pregnant cow, you either have to have a bull or a turkey baster. You impregnate that cow, you fucking have that cow be pregnant, you help that cow give birth, and then that calf is supposed to drink the milk, just like a human baby. But you want the milk. You, the human, you want that cow's milk.
Ew.
So
Give me the milk.
you grab the calf away from the cow and you rip that baby from its mother so that you can have some disgusting ass titty juice.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of videos online of calves being ripped away from their mother cows. And like that's horrifying to me that you would like forcibly impregnate an animal. It's pregnant, it's having all of its normal like hormonal evolutionary things happen where it's like, okay, shit, I got a baby now, gotta fucking protect that baby. This baby's the shit. I gotta fucking like keep this baby alive at all costs. And then it has the baby and you take that baby away
Yeah.
pretty much instantly. And then that baby either gets taken to become veal, which means it gets put in a little fucking tiny ass cage and like only gets to live for a little while
Yeah.
and then is eaten as veal. Or, you know, if it's a girl calf, it could be raised to be a dairy cow, like its mom. Or if it's a boy calf, it could be raised to be like any manner of fucking things that they do with bulls. There's a whole lot of shit wrong with milk.
Yeah.
Also, it's nasty.
Yeah, stop drinking that.
It's fucking gross. There's
got
like
pus in it.
legally allowed to be a certain amount of pus in milk
Yeah.
because that's what happens when you're like routinely like abusing the udders is like they get infected. There's blood and there's pus from the infected udders. Jordan's gagging right now.
Yeah, no,
it's
that's
so
so gross.
nasty. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Are vegans healthier? No.
Yeah, it fucking depends.
Yeah, it really depends. I love junk food. Sarah loves junk food. I wouldn't say that we're healthier.
You don't got to tell me to fuck up some junk food.
Yeah, no, we're
I
not.
just do it.
Like, can you be healthier? Sure. If you're a meat eater who eats mostly fast food, and you're a vegan who eats mostly like, you know, whole foods, you're probably
Right.
healthier. But you don't have to be. You can be vegan and eat Oreos.
Yeah, absolutely. You can be way, way unhealthy as a vegan. We see that with raw diets a lot.
Yeah.
They think they're much, much healthier. They're really, really, really lacking a lot of nutrients.
Yeah, that's another thing, is like the fake health.
Yeah,
the
there's a lot of
perceived
fake health. Even like the Whole Foods plant-based, like avoiding processed foods, avoiding oil. Like,
No, you can definitely be super unhealthy like that.
yeah.
Are vegans gluten free? If they have to be.
Or if they want to be,
Or if they-
sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a lot of vegans that decided to also be gluten-free.
Yeah.
Same goes for soy. Some vegans are allergic to gluten or allergic to soy, have celiac
Yeah.
disease.
You can be
have all
vegan
sorts
and
of
have all
problems.
the regular food allergies.
Yeah, and like
And you can still, you can still eat.
yeah, no, Julian Solomita posts
Yeah.
food on his fucking channel all the time. Dude, He's vegan, he's celiac, so he can't even have beer that has gluten in it.
Yeah.
Like the gluten-free, like, I'm gluten-free, I'm healthy, like those fucking bitches.
Which
like,
is weird, but whatever.
it's super weird. They just don't eat bread.
Yeah.
But like he cannot have a lot of food. Like I don't think he can even have food that like touches like bread and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably not.
But he's on his fucking channel all the time whipping up like delicious ass like vegan, gluten-free food. Like
Yeah.
I would eat that food. Like I don't need gluten. But necessarily no. And we get asked this a lot if we go out to eat someplace new.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, oh, is that vegan? And the server will be like, it has gluten in it? Or it
Yeah.
has no gluten
No,
in it?
another question in here is like, can vegans eat bread? So I know there's a lot of confusion.
Well, bread is a little fucked up because the bread
yeah,
is not
'cause
about
some
the
bread-
gluten.
yeah.
The bread's about the fucking milk and eggs.
But they're thinking gluten, I think,
yeah.
which
No,
is
I
just a
think
wild
so.
ride.
Or they're thinking sometimes bread has milk. I don't know what.
Yeah,
and, like
I
that's
mean-
another thing is people have a food awareness issue. We talked about this
Yeah.
really early on in the podcast. People don't know what the fuck they're eating.
Right.
And
So
that's,
sure, some bread has milk and eggs. Some
even in the
doesn't.
grocery store, you could pick up all sorts of bread and like look at the
Yeah.
ingredients and see, okay, that's vegan or that's definitely not vegan.
Yeah.
Some
you gotta be
like
careful.
honey wheat, if it has honey, probably
Yeah.
not vegan. If it has milk, eggs, not vegan.
Now I know you said you wanted to do a full episode on this, and we will.
Okay.
But are vegans pro-life?
Sometimes. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. So, and the reason, and I'll give my reason now, just short, because I think we should make a full episode about this, is I am a feminist. I'm pro-choice. And to me, that means that no one's body should have to have anything happen to it without their consent.
Right.
And one of those things that's happening to your body without consent is pregnancy. And if you, a human, choose not to be pregnant anymore, then you shouldn't have to be pregnant anymore. And I feel the same way about cows. Cows are forcibly impregnated and then having their calf ripped away from them. That cow didn't have a choice. And like, I don't know how much choice fucking cows have in the wild. The fuck, I don't know if the bull just gets on top of them and they just have to live with that. But like, they don't have to be pregnant as often as possible, constantly getting ready to give birth, having their milk stolen, having their calf stolen. Like, I think that that's something happening to your body without consent, and I don't think the animals should have that. Like, I don't think the animals should have that consent taken away from them, at least in terms of humans. If the bull's gonna get on top of the cow, that really can't be my business. But, like, I'm not gonna pay for somebody to forcibly impregnate a cow and then steal its calf and then steal the calf's milk.
Yeah.
And that's, like, why I think those two values align very, very well.
Yeah, it seems pretty simple.
Some people feel differently. and
Some
we
people
can
do
talk
feel
about that
very
in
differently,
the
and we will talk
full
about that
episode.
later.
Because that was one of the first questions I got asked as soon as I went vegan.
I know.
It was
yeah.
like, oh, are you vegan? Like, how? Like,
Yeah.
pro twice. She
No.
wasn't trying to be a bitch either.
Literally confused.
Literally
But-
confused.
Because she knew about your views on that already and was like, did that change?
Yeah, absolutely not.
So, fair, yeah. Where do vegans get B12? Because and that's fun. Because non-vegans don't really get B12 either.
Yeah. So B12 is like from, I think, called microorganisms that are in animals' digestive tracts that are like absorbed into the muscles or in soil.
Yeah.
And-
like dirt, right?
Yeah. And that's how it gets in their digestive tract is
Right.
a lot of animals eat dirt when they're eating
They're
grass.
trying so hard.
Yeah, you just get a little dirt.
Okay.
And then, like, that's how they get their B12. And a lot of meat eaters get their B12 from, or at least in the past, meat eaters have gotten their B12 from that muscle and that animal that has absorbed the B12 from the digestive tract after the animal ate the dirt.
Right.
The problem is factory farming and extremely clean food is, especially in the United States, we're really weird about having our food super clean.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
never been like this. Our food is the cleanest it's ever been.
Yeah.
And so we're feeding our animals clean food off of like a concrete floor
Right.
in a factory farm. And so they're not getting any of that grass. They're not getting any of that dirt. And
So you're not getting any B12.
well, a lot of factory farms now are giving the cows and chickens and stuff B12 shots.
Nice.
So that's how meat eaters are getting their B12.
I get my B12 from energy drinks.
It's a really bad way to get it.
That's
but
just
yeah.
another way to get your B12 if you don't want to eat a dead animal.
There are a lot of B vitamins in energy drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Excuse this yawn. There are B12 supplements, and that's going to be one of the best ways to get B12. And there's a couple of different B12 supplements, like a couple of different types of B12. The most popular one is the one you're going to want to go with. Whatever you walk into your grocery store and you see B12 supplement, like that's probably the one you want.
Yeah.
There are like different ways of supplementing B12, and they're just not as well researched. I forget what they're called though. Like the difference is just go to your local grocery store, pick up a B12 supplement.
Same
A lot of-
vein.
A lot of vitamins have it.
People want to know where vegans get iron. That's kind of the same thing. You supplement, but also a lot of like greens.
Well,
have some iron.
the thing that I
some
was going to
iron.
say before you cut me off
Oh, I'm sorry.
also applies to iron is plant milk.
Yeah.
Plant milk is almost always B12 and iron fortified.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to slip iron in there with it because I knew that would be like a similar ordeal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Not trying to go on to the next question, but like wanted to.
B12 and iron both.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
similar.
iron supplement.
Yeah.
Most women multivitamins have iron in it because most people that are female bodied and then I guess identify as women have issues having as much iron as people that are male bodied do.
Yeah.
So for that reason, a lot of like women multivitamins, which they should
Yeah.
be called female multivitamins, but whatever. I don't like when you fuck up the difference between sex and gender, but this is not this podcast. But those vitamins often will have iron, but you can get iron super, super cheap supplemented. There's a lot of iron fortified plant milks. Greens, dark leafy greens have iron.
Yeah.
I don't usually eat those, so
Gotta do you.
that's not how I get that. But like also a lot of cereals, like especially health cereals, are
Yeah.
fortified with iron. Just because they know, especially female-bodied people that don't eat a ton of meat, especially because female-bodied people are socialized less to eat a ton of meat.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
In a
Another time.
whole podcast, we're doing a whole masculinity podcast. But those people are usually having issues with iron.
Right.
So we fortify everything.
Yeah.
Iron and B12 fortified everything.
Oh, yeah.
Calcium as well. Calcium is
I was just
fortified
getting
in
ready to
plant
ask
milk.
you, where do vegans get their calcium? Because if you're not drinking milk, how the hell are you getting any calcium?
I'm so tired of people. Because calcium is also something you can get really, really easy from dark leafy greens.
Yeah.
A non-vegan recently said, why doesn't everybody just supplement with calcium? Because it's really, really hard to get. I think it's like 800, 900 milligrams of calcium a day
That's a lot.
you need. And he was like, who is getting that much calcium? And somebody else was like, well, there's like 300 or 400 milligrams in a glass of milk. And that was how the whole milk conversation erupted.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, that's not me, because I don't drink fucking milk. But I did, like, interject in that conversation to say, a lot of plant milks are fortified. I don't
Yeah.
think the guy that brought it up drank a ton of milk. I
Right.
don't think he's a big milk drinker. Because people that drink milk, if you're drinking a reasonable amount of milk every day with your cereal, cooking with it, whatever, cheese, you're getting a reasonable amount of calcium. But, like, so yeah, it's fortified. If you're a new vegan or you're interested in just like your micronutrient intake, because all these things are micronutrients, obviously, unless we get to the protein question,
We will.
Okay, cool, because that's a macronutrient. But if you're interested in micronutrients and macronutrients, MyFitnessPal, Chronometer,
Yeah.
pretty much any food tracking app, track your food for a week, 2 weeks. Just what you regularly eat. See if you're getting the recommended daily amount of calcium, of iron, of B12. If you're not, vegan or not, you need to fucking start supplementing.
Yeah.
You need to get your shit together. Also, protein powders. Iron, calcium, B12.
Oh yeah.
Protein
Yeah.
powders.
If you're consuming that, you're good.
If you're this bitch.
And like, it's so annoying because non-vegans never. I feel like never. I mean, I don't know. I never did when I wasn't vegan. Consider like, oh, am I getting enough calcium? Am I getting enough iron? Am I getting enough protein?
Well,
Am I
because
getting...
the fucking government. I sound like my dad. The government has partnered with the dairy industry to make it seem like as long as you're getting milk, you're getting plenty of
as
calcium.
long as you're eating a burger with cheese and a glass of milk,
you're good.
you're good.
And that's not necessarily true. And especially with all the people, like I said, no one pretty much I know drinks fucking milk like that.
Right.
Like, even the guy that was like, oh yeah, doesn't a glass of milk have 300, 400 milligrams calcium? And he was like, yeah, I basically don't drink milk. Like, sometimes in cereal,
Right.
like I drink milk. Like, yeah, because it's fucking gross. So you're probably not getting enough calcium being
No.
not.
And for protein, we've done a pretty serious discussion about protein, but it's in here in the Google. I mean, we get protein so many ways.
Okay, yeah.
And it's so annoying. I'm so tired of defending where I get my protein.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about it a little bit more though,
Okay.
because I'm cutting right now, so I'm paying extra close attention to protein. And here's the thing. The first thing is you don't need as much protein to survive as everybody thinks you do. You don't need that much. I can hear the cat chewing. She's so extra.
definitely-
Sorry, our cat is eating kibble.
Our cat is not vegan.
She's not vegan. That's going to be a whole episode too.
Yeah.
But so we don't need as much protein as we do to live. I think the ACE personal training guidelines have like, for some heavy lifters, like 80 grams of protein a day.
Wow. That seems so low.
It feels low.
Feels
but
low,
it's
but
because
it's
we
not
eat a lot
really.
of protein in
Yeah.
the US. I eat a lot of protein because I like to lift. I like to maximize gains. I like to feel satiated.
Yeah, protein's a great macro.
A lot of people do.
The best.
And I want this opportunity, not that anybody listens to this podcast really, but for the like 3 or 4 of you that do, hi, to plug
Grandma.
to plug Cheap Lazy Vegan. She's on YouTube and she made a video, I think like really recently, about what 100 vegan grams of protein a day looks like.
Oh, yeah.
I watched this video today, the day that we're recording, and she made like a tofu scramble with tempeh bacon in the morning and then had like lentils and rice for lunch and then had like spaghetti with like veggie balls for dinner.
Yeah.
The veggie balls she made with like chickpeas, like almost like falafel style. I wouldn't have eaten them with spaghetti, but and she got over 100 grams of protein on like 1,800 calories without protein powder.
Yeah.
And that's a thing.
Yeah. You can eat like that.
Yeah, you can eat like, and pretty much all of that was super unprocessed. Like
Right.
the spaghetti, like the noodles were like store-bought spaghetti noodles. So like, whatever. But like, that's a fairly whole foods vegan diet. And like, that like scramble meal, she like netted like 45 grams of protein and not meal. And like, for a girl her size, girl my size, roughly, like 100 grams protein a day is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty serious.
Like, so you don't need that much to survive, but it's pretty easy to do it without supplementing protein powder. But also, fucking supplement some protein powder if you want to.
Yeah.
I really like it.
There's all manner of
had-
vegan proteins now.
Yeah, we've had the protein powder conversation. I don't like pea, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Brown rice protein, hemp protein, soy protein, pea protein, pumpkin seed protein is another one that I saw recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's like usually paired with other
Oh, okay.
proteins. Because that's the other thing is like people get very, very concerned about amino acids, essential amino acids. There's like
Okay.
8 or 9 essential amino acids. That means your body doesn't make them.
They weren't concerned on Google, but tell me.
Yeah, just to have the protein conversation, because amino
Yeah.
acids are what make up protein.
Right.
And people are very, very concerned because if you're eating animal protein, you are getting all 8 to 9 of those essential amino acids all at once.
Right.
That's what you call a complete protein.
Oh, yes. Okay.
There's only one complete vegan protein that we know of, and that's soy. So people are very concerned that you want to compare proteins and like mix and match them to get all of those essential amino acids, which you want to do throughout the day. But a lot of people are really concerned about that happening in one meal.
Okay.
Like, oh, so in this meal I need to have quinoa and black beans and this so that I can get all essential amino acids in each of those things
Yeah.
in that meal.
Okay.
You don't have to do that.
No.
You just have to do that in like a day. And again, if you eat soy because you shouldn't be fucking afraid of it,
No.
that I believe is a complete vegan protein.
Well, then there you go.
It's really not fucking hard.
Yeah.
I think, like, okay, so like I said, you don't really need that much to survive. That's
Right.
great. I think you should eat more to thrive. And I think you should eat on a vegan diet pretty much what you're eating on a non-vegan diet. And, like, just supplement. Use
Yeah.
protein powder if you want. Fucking make tofu. Try tempeh. Beyond burgers, beyond sausages, all of the Gardein foods.
Yeah, they all got protein.
They all have protein.
So there
Delicious. Eat it. It's good.
you go. So I have one last question, and this is very serious.
Yeah.
I need to know why vegans act so fucking superior.
Because we are.
Yes. No, that's seriously though, that's a Google question. And like I hate that shit so much.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Vegans are in a weird cultural space right now. And on one hand, when I am vegan and I go somewhere and someone finds out I'm vegan, one thing that people like to do is roast me,
Yeah.
which I think is interesting. Like, oh, well, you're vegan, I'm not vegan. Like, let me tell you why. Like, I don't care.
Let me tell you how good bacon is.
Yeah, I used to eat bacon too. I used to fucking love bacon. I used to eat it right almost off the fucking bacon sheet. Like, get it, eat it
Yeah.
now. I'm fine without it. I used to love steak.
Oh
Used
yeah.
to love steak.
Used to talk about going to the steakhouse to suck the blood out of some steak.
Yeah, was my
Literally.
favorite thing. It was
That
delicious.
was a line she told all the time.
Not all the time.
Anytime we passed a steakhouse.
I'm like, ooh, can we go suck the blood out of that steak right now?
Yeah.
So good. Was my favorite thing. I don't fucking miss it, even though bacon and steak are two things we haven't really been able to replicate yet.
Right.
And here's my issue with it is like when people roast me, my assumption is that they are concerned because I am living according to my moral philosophy,
yeah.
and they are not.
Right.
And they remember the reason that they're not is because they think bacon's good. And that's like fine if your taste buds are more important than your like moral philosophy.
Yeah.
I find that repugnant, but go on, tell me how delicious bacon is. And the other thing that happens is somebody will go, oh, you're vegan? I respect your choices. Like, okay, bitch. Great. Fucking proud of you. And they do that because those people see the first type of person that's roasting me. I don't feel like hurt when people roast me for being vegan, though.
No.
I feel usually a little irritated because I'm like, I don't walk up to somebody that like chooses not to eat fucking celery and go, why don't you eat celery? Let me tell you all the reasons I eat celery. Which would
Right.
never happen because I don't eat celery. But
Right.
like, it's weird. It's a weird thing to do is to like talk shit about somebody's food choices.
Yeah. It's shitty. Shitty behavior.
Especially because you don't know what limits those food choices. But then the third thing that happens is the person is totally, totally cool with it, but like interested in what I'm doing, but also won't change their behaviors.
Right.
And those people are like the vast majority of people that are like cool with it and interested, but won't change their behaviors. And those are the people that make vegans seem preachy, because those people set us the fuck off. Because I'm like, wait, so you're cool with it, but you won't try it. Wait,
Yeah.
so you're cool with it, but you're unwilling to try tofu once. Oh, you're cool with it, and you like tofu, you like mock meats, you like alternative
this.
products, but you won't do it. So that's why I think vegans sometimes seem like preachy or superior or like whatever.
Right.
Because we get frustrated by people that, oh my God, we get frustrated by people that, there's a dog, I think, running around outside, and our cat is like watching, and we're like hearing it happen.
It's a whole thing.
Okay, so we get frustrated by people that are interested in it and are not willing to try. And we get frustrated also by the people that are fucking like, oh, you're vegan? That's weird because I love bacon.
Right.
Like, those people piss me off.
No,
And I
they
think,
suck.
Honestly, I think that pisses everybody off. Like, you're an idiot. Like, I don't know how to help you. Fuck off. Like, okay, you love bacon. Great. And then the second person is like a weird jellyfish. I don't understand the second person at all. Because the second person is like, oh, I respect your choice. Like, okay, like a human? Like a person?
I wasn't
supposed to?
asking for you to. do
I
anything,
wasn't asking
like-
for your validation.
And if we tell you we're vegan, it's probably because you're trying to feed us pizza or something.
like, oh yeah, I respect your choice. Like
I'm not gonna eat your shitty dairy pizza. 'cause-
fucking accommodate me and respect my choice that way.
Yeah.
So that's why we sometimes seem superior, I think, is because the type of person that's interested but won't actually commit sets us off. It pisses us off because I'm like, you could be vegan so easy.
Yeah.
The first type of person is an asshole, and they're probably the person that's like, oh, vegans are so preachy all the time.
Right.
Because they're out here talking about how much they love bacon because someone was like, oh yeah, Sarah's vegan. They're like, you know what's so good? The cheese sauce. And I'm like, bro,
No.
proud of you and your cheese sauce.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with them.
No. Just fuck them. Stupid pieces of shit. Sorry.
No,
I get angry.
I feel like and that's why vegans seem superior, because we get rightfully pissed when someone hears about our food choices. And for a lot of vegans, it literally is a food choice. They're like, yeah, I'm vegan, let me eat my tofu and go.
Yeah.
Like, they're not interested in preaching to the masses. And a lot of us aren't interested in preaching to the masses because that's exhausting.
Right.
That's tiring. But when some fucking asshole is like, wait, but you don't eat ranch dressing? I'm like, no, weirdo, get the fuck away from me. And they're like, wow, vegans are so preachy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens.
Literally what it is.
Or someone tries to feed you something not vegan and you're like, oh, no, thank you. And they're like, what, why? Like, I don't want that. I don't eat animal products and that has an animal product in it. No, thank you. Like, oh, God, how do you know someone's vegan? They'll tell you. Like, because you were trying
I'll tell you as you're shoving bacon down their throat.
You were trying to put a piece of fish in my mouth. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want that. Like, get the fuck away from me.
No. Fuck 'em.
And I feel like that is a fairly, like, succinct, like, understanding. Because being vegan and being a social vegan, we're going to do a podcast about this,
Yeah.
is, like, especially nuanced situation. Because those are the three reactions you get. And sometimes you're feeling targeted. Sometimes you're feeling like everybody around you is mad at you for making a choice that aligns with your morals. Sometimes you're feeling like, wait, why is this person saying they respect my choices? But like, that's a weird thing to say. Like, it's like, oh, you're vegan? I respect your choice.
Right.
And then the people that are like, oh yeah, I'm not vegan, but sometimes I don't eat chicken. But like, you like all the Guardian stuff. Like, why don't you just completely replace chicken with Guardian stuff? Like, it's
Yeah.
weird. And I feel like it's a lot of millennials, because a lot of millennials are interested in veganism, but like,
Not really.
won't commit.
Yeah.
Won't commit even like 80%.
Right.
Because you could eat like a plant-based diet and occasionally go out for a burger.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't do that, but I understand why people would.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot going on there. So that's why we seem superior or preachy, because we're like, ugh, fuck all of you.
Right.
Fucking, I just want to hang out with vegans and eat vegan food and fucking be done.
That's all we want.
Pretty simple.
Anyway, that about wraps it up. Any final thoughts?
I'd love to do like an actual Q&A.
Yeah, I would too. I don't know how we're gonna get the Q's for our A's.
Yeah. We could do like a poll on like my personal Insta.
Yeah, we could probably get some questions.
Like, just figure out what people are like interested in.
Yeah.
Because I have like friends that are like sort of curious.
Right.
And I have friends that are like against it. And I have like family members that would do it if it weren't for like not supportive people in their life. So like I think that there are questions that could be answered. I think there's like a lot of questions that could be answered. We just
Yeah.
gotta reach out to those people. So like if you're listening, fucking you know our Instagram. It's our plant-based pod. Pretty intuitive.
Doot. Check it out.
Go write me a DM.
Yep.
You good?
I'm good.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.